It's the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We are just a stone's throw from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it is rocking and rolling here at Huntington Bank Field in downtown Cleveland.
Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading the charge, their lefty QB.
Anytime anyone throws for over 300 yards in a game, you know their name is going to be considered for Offensive Player of the Week. And in the AFC last week, our guy got it.
Yeah, he was the guy on top of his game. He'll try to duplicate that here in this one. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The numbers for him from a week ago: 14 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
And he's going to be wrangled down quickly after the catch up at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
And we're going to see the ball in the air quite a bit here. This is a top 5 passing offense in the NFL, and they certainly like to get everybody involved. So this defense, they're going to have to be able to counterpunch somehow. They couldn't there, and it's an opening drive, first down.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You look at this Steeler defense.
They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 44-yard line. Operating from the gun, Gabriel. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Gabriel. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end.
Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw again.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. Rodgers now on first down.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down. The numbers on the ground for Gainwell last week.
14 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown as well.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
It'll be a gain of 5, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
They will run for it with Gainwell. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now 2nd and 5. Again, it's Sermon.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
From the 2, here's 1st and goal. Gainwell is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Cordero Patterson.
His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Gabriel. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Gabriel. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt.
The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
It's taken to the 26. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. You look at this Browns defense, and they're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack, and even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
Rodgers wants to change the look. They'll try and run for the first with Sermon.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
The Steelers at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. And they come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
And I like the way that this team is winning football games because they're doing it the way that coaches love to preach. Penalties at a minimum because they've been very disciplined, very focused in their business.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, these two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So they'll be looking for the win here in Cleveland to complete the season sweep. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. They run once more with Sermon.
And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Flush to his right.
An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Another opportunity now for the Browns offense. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
Off the play fake. Gabriel. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
This will be caught. Judy.
A big play that time for Cleveland. 52 yards. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Out quickly to Judy. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That's certainly one way to beat the blitz. Get it out of your hands quickly. Get it to the big fella.
Very effective. Saw the pressure, got rid of it, and the completion ensued. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal.
Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The offense and running back Trey Sermon heading back out.
He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Back to Gainwell here on second down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Sermon now on 1st and 10.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down, Gainwell looking for space. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes us up to the 47.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, they started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
On second down, it's Sermon.
And he's got some space here.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Straight ahead, it's Sermon.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run behind center with Gainwell.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Kenneth Gainwell.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
This taken in right around the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Gabriel.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Third and 12.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
Let's look at Kenneth Gainwell as this offense comes back out.
So a 6-carry drive the last go-around, touchdown on the end of it. We'll see if they can duplicate that here.
I think that they would like to. I know every runner that we've ever met would love to carry the ball more and more and more. In fact, we keep a ball in the booth just for demonstration purposes.
You're holding it right now.
I'm going to give it to you. Is it heavy? Is it that heavy?
No, it's pretty light.
It's pretty light, right? So keep giving it to him and let him do his work. It's not going to slow him down.
If it's light for me, it's definitely light for him.
85 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Back to Gainwell here on second down.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the gun, Sermon.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7.
Rodgers going to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
Here comes third in the length of the football.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Jordan Love, over 400 yards passing with 3 touchdown passes as well. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Brock Purdy, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. We saw a strong first half out of running back Kenneth Gainwell. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
Third quarter starts with a run from Gainwell.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Back to Gainwell here on second down.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
102 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Up the middle, here's Sermon.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Straight ahead, it's Gainwell.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8.
Throwing now is Rodgers. This is caught inside the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf, 48 yards.
And the Steelers are able to add on to that lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gabriel
to the sideline and incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Gabriel. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Austin.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. They give to Sermon out of the gun.
And he's got room. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
99 yards on the ground now for Sermon. He's got a 1st down.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, Sermon.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Gabriel.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. play action. Gabriel. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Back to throw again. Right back to Njoku. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing on first down, Gabriel. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Alex Highsmith
in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Well, just shy of midfield. Here's a 2nd and 8. Now a handoff. Sermon. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, They want to show the world they're up to the challenge. He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now it's Sermon. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. A couple extra tight ends are in, 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll look to run with Gainwell. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And now the Browns coming out on the field.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Gabriel.
Open man. He completes it to Judy.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A gain of 3, second down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Second and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 13-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Sermon. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just 1 play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even 1 score, Might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Steelers,
they moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory.
And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Cleveland.